desert, for I walk in this world.
Good Thursday morning to you. Hope it's a great day so far today. I hope that your week has been great as well. Do you remember the movie Courageous? Came out in 2011. The movie Courageous opens with a really kind of captivating sequence. It's really exciting. One of the main characters, who we find out later is a police officer, and the movie follows a group of police officers who are also dads and husbands and things. But one of the main characters there, his name is Nathan. He leaves his truck running at a gas station. He's getting some gas, and he's standing just a few feet away when another man who was nearby there jumps in to his truck, closes the door, hits the accelerator, and takes off to steal his truck. And Nathan takes off running after the truck. And he jumps up on the running board, and he reaches in through the open driver's door window and to grab the steering wheel, and is carried away in this moving truck at a high speed. He's dragging along the ground. His feet are dragging along the ground as he's desperately trying to hang on, and he comes close several times to falling off the truck and out onto the road. And he has this fight with the driver of the truck to gain control of the vehicle. And he finally, in the fight, forces the would-be burglar or car thief to run the truck off the road into the ditch and into some grass there. And the man jumped out and abandoned the vehicle and took off. And as Nathan sort of staggers toward the truck, trying to catch his breath, bystanders that see all of this happen and stop to try to help, and they're trying to get him to stop and lay down, take a rest, whatever. And after all, it's just a truck. It's no big deal. It's just a truck. Truck can be replaced, right? And so they're trying to get him to slow down. Well, Nathan gets to the truck, opens the back door, and it reveals an infant child in a car seat. He wasn't. The thing was, he wasn't concerned about the truck. He was worried about his kid. He's worried about his child, and it's a really captivating scene, and really sort of breathtaking scene to watch. And the thing about it is, his actions don't completely make sense until we understand his motivation for what he did. Because again, up until that point, you're thinking, well, it's just a truck. You have insurance. Is it worth risking your life? But when we understand his motivation, what he was really doing, and what he was really trying to save, makes a whole lot more sense. You think about Jesus. If somebody had heard about what Jesus did coming to this earth, it's a very sinful earth, coming from his place in heaven down here to suffer torture, to suffer death, humiliation. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense just on face value there, until you understand what his motivation is for doing what he did, what Jesus did. We read about that in Ephesians chapter 2, verses 1 through 10. Ephesians chapter 2, 1 through 10 says, "As for you, you were dead in your transgressions and sins, in which you used to live when you followed the ways of this world and of the ruler of the kingdom of the air, the spirit who is now at work in those who are disobedient. All of us also lived among them at one time, gratifying the cravings of our flesh and following its desires and thoughts. Like the rest, we were by nature deserving of wrath. But because of his great love for us, God, who is rich in mercy, made us alive with Christ, even when we were dead in our transgressions. It is by grace you have been saved. And God raised us up with Christ and seated us with him in the heavenly realms in Christ Jesus, in order that in the coming ages he might show the incomparable riches of his grace, expressed in his kindness to us in Christ Jesus. For it is by grace you have been saved, through faith. And this not of yourselves, not from yourselves, it is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." And so Ephesians 2, Paul's writing there to the Ephesians, opens a door, kind of like the truck door, and reveals to us God's love. And it's motivated by mercy, because we are all, before our relationship with Jesus, dead in our transgressions and sins. We were in a bad place, and we needed a way out. And so God's motivation is mercy and love for each and every one of us. God's concerned for his children, and he sent his son for each and every one of his children. And so what we get to understand is that salvation is the greatest gift that we can imagine. It's the only it's only available because of God's grace and God's mercy for each and every one of us. And so we're reminded by Paul's writing in Ephesians that we were created to do good works. Understanding grace doesn't cause us to stop working for God. Instead, it should motivate us to live for him. Why? Because he redeems us, because he gives us that second chance. He gives us that way out, and it's only by grace. And we are his children only by grace. And so just want to leave that thought with you today, to think about grace. Think about the grace that you've received through Jesus Christ from God our Father. In what ways can you demonstrate in your life, the way you live your life, the ways that you serve God? What ways can you demonstrate your thankfulness and his graciousness in the way that you live your life, the way that you show grace to others, the way that you show love to others, and certainly the way that you just pour yourself into serving God each and every day. Hope this is encouraging to you, and I hope that you have received the grace of Jesus Christ. It's going to be a great day, and I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day today. We'll see you next time.
They resound with God's own heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart words of life, words of hope.